Y'all, what's going on? I am vlogging, but it's just because I'm doing something today. I just had a cookout tray. I had me a burger with onions, tomato, mayonnaise, ketchup, mustard. I just like all those kind of like regular toppings. I forgot to add pickles, but I never remember because I feel like, isn't that just regular like that? Those are just regular burger toppings. I don't know why you have to add all that. I'm on my way to the Music Factory to go see Toro y Moi. I've been listening to his music for, I don't even know how long, several years, but I still don't know if I'm saying his name right. I think it's like a French word and another word put together. So it's two words put together in two different languages, I believe. And it means like hug or love or something like that. I don't know, with me or something. Maybe it means with me. Y'all, these drivers out here, what I was eating, and this lady was all up in my face while I'm eating on the way to the show. It's so aggravating. Anyway, thank God. I was a little worried. Like, the show is at 8. It's now 6:45. I'm really not that concerned. And I should have thought about it. I could have eaten before. Like in Charlotte, like downtown. I could have eaten uptown. Like, we could have found somewhere to eat. I don't know if this venue has food inside or like, it's at the Charlotte Amphitheater, which is in the Music Factory. So I've never gone to a music show there. I've been to the Music Factory like several times, but I don't even know where I can't even place where this Charlotte Amphitheater is. And I know I'm gonna feel super slow when I'm like, oh wow, it's like right here, because I believe it's next to like Label and World. Anyway, I just had me a good cookout tray, a burger and fries. I just ran and got that really quick, and now I'm headed to meet up with who I'm going to the concert with. And the opening act, I think, is Cara Bing or something. I'm gonna feel some, I don't know how to pronounce their name. Their music's alright. I'm not like a huge fan. Like, their vibes are pretty cool, but I don't really listen to them. I've heard a few of their songs like on like Instagram, like people's reels and stuff, but I don't really listen to their music. Now Toro, I do listen to his music. I just listened to his latest project like yesterday, and I like it. So at first, because I did kind of hear some of his new music like a couple weeks ago, like a song or two, and it didn't really pull me in. So I definitely his old stuff, like a lot of his old stuff. Yeah, none of my friends really wanted to go. A lot of my friends aren't really into like different types of music like I am, like eclectic type of music. I hope I don't get nervous like vlogging, but we'll see how it goes. Anyway, I've been uptown a million times, so I don't feel nervous about driving there, but I'm gonna just try to save my battery so I can, film, share with you guys some of the music and some of the show once I get there, okay? Y'all, so my GPS, I know where the Music Factory is, I know how to get there, but I ended up, I'm about to put my lip color on. I ended up taking me downtown to like, this is at the Charlotte Credit Amphitheater or something or other. So it took me, first of all, I was gonna get off at Graham. I missed my exit and I could have got off at Sugar Creek or Graham, but my GPS was saying like, get off exit 38. So I was like, whatever. So it took me to freaking downtown, to the credit union down there. And I was like, what? Is this down here? I had already looked yesterday and it said it was a Music Factory. It is now 7:20. Uh-oh. It is so hot. Ooh, not me having food in my teeth. I cleaned my car out before I went to Atlanta and it's already a mess. Yes, I have yet to wear brown. Typically I wear brown like in the winter time because I feel like it's like dark, it's like a look for the winter. I thought it looked really good with this look. So yeah. Finally found parking. Trying to pay to park. The good thing about Charlotte is I usually can find parking here. Oh, this would be a wait. Let's get a picture right here. Y'all, so I completely forgot to talk about my eyeshadow. This is the Lips by Kiani. I can't remember her specific this eyeshadow glitter name, but I will insert it. But yeah, it's my first time trying her eyeshadow. It's awesome. I love it. I thought it would be really, really cute for like a concert. You know, it's cute for prom, any kind of event. You know, big kind of deal thing. So I was like, let me just pop it out really quick. So yeah. That's what's up. So I wanted to talk about the concert experience. It is now July, so it's been months since that experience happened and I went to the concert. I go to concerts a lot. This wasn't my first concert, but it was my first time going with this particular person that I went with. I met her on a social meeting app, everything seemed cool. There were some instances when we were texting. It was our second time hanging out. There were some instances when we were texting where I could tell she had like an attitude about certain things, or like kind of like a short temper, short fuse about certain things. And I always try to like look at the positive side of things, so I kind of just overlooked it. But I just didn't. And so it's just looking back on it, I was like, wow, now it just makes sense that this person has like anger issues. So yeah, I'm a lot more calmed down from the situation. I still get really upset thinking about it because every day I look at my car and I see that it's keyed. I was just pretty much looking for friends that like hiking and like doing things outdoors, because a lot of my friends aren't necessarily really into that. Some of them are. They live out of state or far away. So I live in Charlotte, North Carolina. And so that was actually the first thing that we did. We met up. We had mutual interests, so we started messaging. So since we had things in common, we actually met up and did like a trail together. That went pretty okay, but I could tell like she definitely wanted to meet up again, like be concrete about meeting up again. And like I just, with my schedule, like with my work schedule and like all the other things that I do, like I definitely can commit to like meeting up and like doing the things that I'm interested in, which is like going hiking, going on trails and greenways, and like walking and things like that. So I could have done that with her or anybody that I'm friends with or trying to be friends with, but it's just hard to, I wanted to just kind of it to happen organically and naturally, and not like, okay, this is our first meetup, like we have to set a date for this time, like for our next hangout, like we have to set a date right now. And that's kind of how I felt like she was doing for us meeting up the second time. Anyway, so we went to the Tori Mal concert. They were really strict. Usually when you go to concerts, they're pretty particular about what you bring into the concert. It's kind of like the airport where they scan you, like, or before you go into the club where they scan you and they check to see, you know, the things that you can bring in. You could only bring like a clear bag in and like certain items. You can bring like any kind of cigarettes or like, you know, smoking's prohibited. Like I don't think you could bring like any outside food or anything like that. So it's, I mean, pretty typical for a concert. I brought my selfie stick because I was planning on vlogging. So just having like my camera on my selfie stick so I don't have to hold it, because it's like, you know, it could be like uncomfortable in a concert and like, you know, your whole head is like in front of somebody trying to watch the show. So I prefer to do like a selfie stick so that way the person behind you can have more viewing of the show as well. So yeah, I'm still in the market to meet more friends that like want to do outdoorsy things, but like who are sane and like not crazy. So yeah, she wanted to come to my house so we could drive one car, which I'm like, that sounded really cool. Like we could meet up. She was like, oh, do you smoke? And I was like, no, I don't smoke or drink. So she was like, okay, because she planned on smoking before the concert. And I was like, no, I don't. But the thing of it is like she lives on the south side of town, I live on the north side of town, and the concert was dead center in the middle of us. So it would not make sense for her to drive to my house past the concert 30 minutes north and then to come back, for us to come back center, to me just didn't make a whole lot of sense. So I explained that to her and like she didn't even respond. So like I felt like that was like kind of how our interactions were a lot of times, where I would like try to explain like logic to her, logistics of things, and like she just wasn't like, she wouldn't respond, or like it would be like an attitude, or like she would be like a smart ass about it. And like it was just like several instances like that I felt were happening. I was like, let's just meet in the middle and like we'll figure out parking, like there's plenty of parking. So it was at the Music Factory concert venue there. That was my first time there. I think the Charlotte Amphitheater is the name of it. We met there. The concert starts at 8, I believe, and I ended up leaving the house at 7. So ended up getting there around like 7:20. So fine parking, that took about 10-15 minutes. So 7:30-ish, 7:35 we were parked, and then walking, we weren't that far. We parked in an area, just like we found street parking, and we were in line. Like the line was pretty long. So I'll try to insert clips. Well, actually you guys saw how long the line was. It was about a 30-minute wait. So by the time we got to like the scanner ladies for them to like scan and make sure everything we had we could enter, like we didn't have any prohibited items, it was already like 8 o'clock, and I heard Tori Mal's music playing. I'm like, oh my god, it's like is he going first? Because I was under the impression that the way the concert was labeled, I believe it was like Caribbean, I can't remember the name of that band, but them with Tori Mal, or I think it was Tori Mal with Carabang. So I don't know. I assume that Tori Yumao, I've been like a long time fan of his for years, so I assumed that he was gonna be going last. I didn't think he was going first or being the opening act. But anyway, I started hearing his music, and like the people on the line were like, oh, don't worry. They were like, that's just the radio, that's not really playing. And they were like smoking cigarettes. They were like out, you could tell they were drunk, they were out of it. So I was like, I know Tori Yumao's music. So we get up to the line, and apparently you can't bring selfie sticks. So Charlotte Amphitheater and Live Nation, I'm like so pissed about that because that was nowhere listed on things that you can't bring. Yeah, I'm so aggravated about it just thinking about it right now. I have been looking forward to this concert for months. Like, I bought my ticket, I don't even know, like months ago. So the lady was like, you can't bring your selfie stick. The girl that I went with, she had a fanny pack. She brought a bag full of shit. She had weed, she had like a lighter, she had like all this stuff that you can't bring into a concert. Like, it's 8 o'clock at this point, so his show is starting. And we have to walk back to the car, which is like 15 minutes. So we pretty much was like, yo, let's just find like a bush. So we found a bush that was like halfway, like not that far. We just put our stuff there and like was planning on going back when the concert was over to just get our stuff, right? So she just left her whole bag. I left my selfie stick, and then we walked back, and the line is just as long as it was when we first got there. So it's another 30 minutes. So it took us, so we got back in there around like 8. It took us like an hour to get through that line, more than 30 minutes. Mind you, it was already like 8:12, 8:15 when we first got to the security. So the second time we got to security was like about 9 o'clock essentially, and his set was only an hour long. So he started at 8 and went to 9. So we walk in, we were able to get through. And she was actually, the security lady was like looking at my camera like I wasn't able to bring that in either. She was like, but she was just like fine, because I think they remembered us. So I made sure we went through the same line again, so like we didn't have any surprises. So as soon as I walk in, I hear Toro's set. I'm like rushing to get there, like trying to get some footage. And as soon as I walk up, he's like, okay, we're gonna do one more song. And I was like crushed. I was so upset, like ready to go home, like so mad. Like, I literally paid almost $100 on a ticket to see him and his band, and I missed the entire show because Live Nation, Charlotte Amphitheater did not specify that you can't bring selfie sticks. And my selfie sticks, like, I vlog. Like, first of all, I got that as a gift. I'm not about to just chug it. It's a really nice selfie stick, and you know, this is something I take my equipment really seriously, and I just was not gonna just throw it away. So anyway, so we pull up, and it's we finally get inside. It's one last song he's playing. I get one song on camera. So I definitely wanted to talk about my experience, to speak to a manager. So Caribbean came on, and honestly, like, I've heard some of their songs like on Instagram Reels. Like, some people use their songs for music, and like it's cool, but it's not anything that's like I'm not really into that band. So I wasn't really looking forward to it. It's just like a lot of instrumentals, which I don't mind instrumentals, but I just don't really like the band. Like, I didn't buy my ticket to see them. I was kind of ready to go, but she kind of wanted to see them, so I was like, okay, fine. So we kind of like stayed and chill, and I was just like, you know, just trying to chill. I went and used the restroom. As I was using the restroom, like, I had to go, like, when you leave the seating area, there's like Charlotte Amphitheater, there's staff like all around the seating area. So if you're like trying to go to the bathroom or buy food or like buy merch, they're literally standing at every corner, like checking tickets. Twice I got asked for my ticket to be checked, and I'm like, I'm already inside. Like, obviously I can be here. I'm authorized to be here. So to go back to my seat from using the restroom, you need to look at my ticket again. And it was like all white. It was all white staff. So I only experienced that with the white staff. And the two security women were two older white women. They were very rude. I did not like them at all. It's just how they said it, like how they said we couldn't have the selfie stick. They were just really rude about it. They were being like really strict about you just even walking through the amphitheater. That was just like such a hassle. And I felt like I was racially profiled in this establishment. That's really how I felt. So, and then I was already irritated that I didn't get to see Toro. So we stayed pretty much for the whole entire set. Cara Bing, I can't remember the name, but that band, they had like 2 or 3 hours. So they started at 9 and went to like 11, I think, or 11:30 or something like that. And so we stayed through the whole show, and then at the end of the show, they started to play covers, and their covers were pretty good, but I was kind of like ready to go. At that point, I was like, you know, I don't really want to hear covers. So, and she was like, yeah, she's ready to go too. So on our way out, I was like, you know, I'm gonna go speak to the manager. So I like pointed and was like, I'll be right back. She completely walks off. And outside of the establishment, I thought she was walking, you know, I don't know, to the side somewhere, or she could have came with me. I was just really confused. I didn't think it was gonna take that long. I was just gonna try to like get this situation rectified, like get a refund, or, you know, where can I complain to, you know, type of situation. Because I felt like I completely wasted my money. Completely did. I did waste my money. So I end up speaking to one of the staffs that's like guarding, you know, the stairwells or whatever. And I'm like, hey, you know, I would like to speak to a manager. And he's like, what about? And I was just like, my experience, I did not have a good experience here. And he was just like, okay, let me bring somebody for you. So he ends up bringing another gentleman over. He's a white male. I can't remember his name, but both those men were 2 white males. And, you know, I'm explaining to him what happens, and he's like, you know, I can't really do anything about it. It's on our website that you can't bring selfie sticks. So I'm gonna insert what their website lists, because they have a prohibited list, but selfie sticks are not on there. So there's no selfie stick listed on the prohibited list that you're talking about, because he was like, you need to check the website, it's on the website. I've been to so many concerts, I've never heard of you not being able to bring a selfie stick to a concert. Like, everybody vlogs nowadays, so it just doesn't make any sense. He's explaining that to me. We talked for like a good minute, right? And then I guess something happened, maybe like a fight broke out or something, but somebody had called him because they have the earpieces in. Somebody had called him, so he had to run off and like, I guess, assist to maybe somebody passed out or something. So he was like, I'm gonna call our experience manager over for you. So, and this was a black woman. She comes, she kind of takes a little bit of time to come, honestly. But she walks up, I explain to her what happens. I start crying because I feel like this is the 3rd person I'm talking to, and I'm feeling like I'm not really getting anywhere. And she's just like, you know, I'll see if I can get you tickets to the next show, like in Richmond or somewhere else, something like that. And I was just like, I considered it, like I thought about like, okay, maybe Richmond will work. So she was like, let me check on this and I'll come back to you. So I'm waiting for about 10 minutes, and she comes back and she's like, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna be able to do anything for you because you stayed and watched the rest of the show. You know, we just can't really do anything, but you can like contact you can call somebody or something about a survey. She was like, you can do a survey online or something like that. And I was like so mad. I'm like, wow, you're an experienced manager, and I'm telling you, I've had a horrible experience here, and it's all due to the misinformation or lack thereof of your staff and establishment. This is essentially your fault. So it's their fault why I missed the show. It's their fault why I wasted my money. It all starts with them, really. So you would think that this would be the worst of the night, right? No. So meanwhile, all this is happening, I'm getting texts and calls from a girl that I came with. We need to give her a name. Let's call her, we're gonna call her Medea. So Medea, she's calling and texting me while I am talking to these managers, knowing I did not have a good experience here and I'm trying to get the situation rectified. She's calling and texting me, like essentially trying to rush me. And I'm just like, girl, this is not gonna take long. Give me a minute, you right? Of course I didn't answer because I'm literally in the middle of having conversation with these managers. Once I leave, I walk out and I'm like looking at her. She's on the phone with somebody, like, I guess talking ish, or like, I don't know. I think she's like just talking ish about me and like, I guess how I left her to go speak to the manager. I don't know. So I was like, hey, what's up? Like, you know, why'd you call me and text me like so much? You know, I'm like trying to speak to a manager. She's just like, she said, you have me standing outside here by myself. Mind you, this girl is, I'm 5'5", 5'4.5". She's like almost 6 foot. So she's super tall, like nobody's about to attack her. You know, like she's acting so woe is me, like, oh my God, like you left me all by myself, and like I'm a woman, like just doing this like just really like draining that story. And I was just like, girl, I was trying to talk to a manager, like I didn't leave you. She cuts me off, gets in my face, and is like, let me speak, like real stern. And at that moment, since I missed Toro and then all the other stuff that I felt like she was really attitudey about, I was like, you know what? I don't think this is gonna work, because I feel like if you're my friend, I want to feel like you support me, and you're not trying to like pour salt on the wound. Like you're making things worse. Her reaction was just not what I was trying to. And plus she's way bigger than me, way taller than me. Like, you know, if you get in my face, I'm not trying to like challenge you, you know. I just was like, girl, like I'm gonna go home essentially, right? I backed away and I just wanted to just disengage. So I was just like, you know what? I don't think this is gonna work out anymore. I don't want to be friends anymore. We're walking and she's like following me. She's like, where is our bag and stuff like that. Like, girl, both of us walked to the same place. You know where your bag is. You know where all your stuff is. Like, stop playing. Stop playing dumb and leave me the. She just kept saying, like, she was like, you're a brat, you're this, like insulting me. Like after I told her I don't want to be friends anymore and like I'm trying to disengage and I'm literally walking away, she's like saying stuff behind, following me and like antagonizing me, like saying insult. We did walk past the cops because the cops were directing traffic, because it was, you know, it's a busy area, Music Factory, and like when there's concerts and shows, it's just a lot of traffic. So, and there were a lot of people outside, but I still felt like she just didn't give a f, like she still wanted to bother me. So we're walking and I'm like, leave me alone, stop following me, like when she's harassing me and saying stuff like that, and she's still following me. Like I'm looking back and she's still behind me, and like we could have gone different ways to get to where we needed to go. We parked at the same place, but we didn't have to walk side by side right directly behind each other. You could have been across the street and I could have been across the other street, you know, to walk back. You know, at this point, like it's kind of like over and done. Let's move on. Not everybody's meant to be friends, and this has shown me that this is what needs to happen. And maybe the next day I would have thought about it and changed my mind, but the way that it ended, I was like, oh f no. She's following me. So I get my selfie stick and I'm literally trying to like, now I'm like picking up the pace a little bit to try to like get away from this girl. So she's following me still, and I look back after I get my selfie stick. She gets her bag and I'm like trying to like move quick. So I look back because she's still talking smack or whatever, and she's like, don't look back here. Why the are you looking back here? Turn the around. Like just like going crazy. Now mind you, I'm not even really saying anything. I'm just saying, leave me alone. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying is leave me alone. I'm feeling like safety, like I'm feeling like my safety's being violated, and I feel like you're trying to like fight me and harm me. So that's definitely how I was feeling, and the energy that was coming towards me, like she wanted to really harm me. And at that point, when she was like really bucking up verbally and like yelling, because where we put our bags and stuff, nobody was really around, nobody could really hear. When that happened, I was bugging out. So I was trying to cross the street and I almost got hit by a car because I was so busy like looking back and just like shaken up that like a car came by and like literally almost hit me. There was 2 police officers. I remember the 2 police officers over there. So I was like, okay, this girl's not gonna leave me alone. I'm gonna have to like get these police officers involved. So I walk past the police officers and I yell out, leave me alone, stay back. And she finally catches the hint and walks away. And the officer was like, ma'am, are you okay? And I'm like, no, I'm not. But I don't know what I was thinking. I should have got them to escort me back to my car, drive me back to my car, and got them involved. But it was so many people out there that was going on. I was just like, I couldn't really think straight or like think about what should I really do. And then I was like, oh, they seem so busy like helping people cross the street. So I didn't ask. I called one of my friends and she had to get up early for work the next day. We're not really friends anymore anyway, because I feel like if you were a real friend, you would have came and got me. So I saw this girl, but instantly when she started walking away, finally, I was like, I'm gonna wait and hopefully she'll get in her car and leave, right? So we parked at the same spot. So instantly I had this gut feeling that like she's gonna do something to my car. She's gonna try to like slash my tires or like key my car or something. I just knew, like I just knew it because like 5 minutes after she walked away from when I said leave me alone, when I got the police involved, I got a text from her saying like, she was like, you must be down really bad. I hope you get you deserve in life or something like that. Like real, like just vindictive, like real vindictive. And I texted her back and I was just like, look, get off my line and leave me alone. Bye, or shut up or something like that. And I said, goodbye, loser. So I saw a girl, not because of her natural hair, but she just looked, you know, she looked really cool. So I was like, hey, can you give me a ride back to my car? I really don't feel safe driving to my car. And she was like, sure. She drives me back to my car. We get in the car and she's in town from Georgia. So we start like talking and stuff like that. She was really, really cool. After that situation happened where she texted me like, I hope you get what you deserve. And I was just like, you know, I didn't harm you or like, you know what I mean? Like nothing really dramatic happened. For her to be like, I hope you get what you deserve. I'm like, girl, please leave me alone. Just because we hung out twice does not mean like any of this is okay. So we get down the street to my car and we drive, but before we get to my car, the way we came is we drove past Medea's car. So Medea was still there. It had already been like 15-20 minutes and she was sitting and waiting in her car. So I'm like, she was sitting waiting in her car because I guess she thought I was a dumb bitch and was gonna just walk to my car by myself with big Medea around. I was like, oh my God, that's the girl I came with. And so she slows down. I'm like, girl, don't slow down, speed up. I'm trying to get away from this girl. We're trying to go to my car, which is in front of, what's her name's car? It's like 4 or 5 cars in front of her car. Medea comes behind us, chases after us, like down the street, like speeds up to us and is like trying to like get through the left side. Now we're doing street parking. So there's cars on the left and there's cars on the right of us. The cars on the right of us are faced this way. The cars on the left of us are faced towards our back. So she's trying to get through and there's no way to get through. It's like a 1-lane kind of a street. And she's like trying to get through on the driver's side. And like, I don't know what she was trying to do, but she was definitely like, for her to wait in the car, she was definitely trying to harm me and then speed up behind us and then like try to go through on the left side when there's no way to go through. It's just like, girl, will you let it go? Let it go and move on. Like, what are you so turned up about? If you want to talk about something, you talk about it like in a normal manner. Finally, I guess she gave up because we just stopped. Like we stopped in the street, like kind of like in front of my car. Actually, we had to like we drove past my car because she was like coming after us. She ended up she realized that maybe what she was doing was dumb as hell. She finally backs up and goes down on the left. If she really wanted to leave, she could have just turned left behind us, but she decides to go straight. It just didn't make any sense. I check out my car and I thought everything looked fine until I saw that my car was keyed. on the left driver's side in 2 places, and it was her because my right side of my car was facing like some trees and bushes, so there would be no way for her to key that side. It was keyed on the side that was exposed on the street. So yeah, she keyed my car in pretty deep, and it's super noticeable. And when I saw it, it was like, I've never keyed anybody's car. I'm gonna insert pictures so you guys can see. Definitely, I talked to some of my friends about it and they were like, you need to file a police report. And I did. I filed a police report. This person works for the government, so the information on them was really hard to find. Like I said, I just kind of like met this person, so I did have some information. I was able to find some information, but because they work for the government, there's really not. So I did try to do a court day and do a restraining order because after I told her to leave me alone on my phone and text messages, she wrote me on, I completely forgot the app that I met her on. She wrote me on that app like a long 6-page message of insults and just telling me that I'm not worth fighting and I'm a Karen because I got the cops involved. Just so long and just so pointless. And like, she needs to be spending time like fixing herself and like not trying to communicate with somebody who's already explained to her that they don't want to deal with her. The next day I ended up calling like Live Nation and Charlotte Amphitheater, just saying like, hey, the selfie stick thing is not on your website, saying that it's prohibited. And they were like, oh well, we're sorry about that. I did talk to Live Nation. That was a super long process. It was like an hour wait, and when I was on the phone with them, they were like, oh, we'll put a request in for you for your refund. And they transferred me to somebody else, which, you know, they were like trying to document the situation, and that was like another long conversation as well, which was fine. I don't mind explaining what happened, but I just feel like I've explained it so much, and like people are just saying sorry, and they're not really, I feel like it's not really rectified because I don't have a refund. You know, it's like there's no real change coming from the situation. I did try to get a restraining order against her because with how she reacted, I felt like it was really unpredictable, and I just didn't feel safe with her. I just really don't feel safe around her, so I didn't want her around me or showing up to work or showing up where I live just with more vengeance, just because that's how she's moving. It was like one of the worst concert experiences ever, and then nothing got fixed. So my car's keyed, driving around with keyed car, and I didn't get to see Toro. That was a wasted concert. I should have just went by myself, honestly. I probably would have been there on time because at least I know my car wouldn't have been keyed. Yeah, so Live Nation was like, okay, we'll call you back and follow up with you. After like a 2-hour phone call with 2 different people, they were like, yeah, we'll follow up with you, and you know, we should definitely be able to give you a refund. They never did. Haven't heard back from them, haven't gotten an email. And to like get a restraining order, you have to have like an address, which I didn't know. I've never had to take a restraining order out on somebody before, so you have to have an actual address for them and just like certain information to like for it to be mailed. And I was like, well, I have their email, can we like can we email this? Like, I have their number. And I felt like the court system was like doing everything that you possibly can to not protect you and for you to not protect yourself, because if I'm telling you that this happened and safety is like an issue for me right now, why aren't you helping with, like, why are there these laws and rules in place for you not helping? Like, I don't even want her address. You can mail it to her yourself and keep the address, but I had to get the address to have it mailed. And that bit of information, I found an address online, but I don't think it was an updated address. So it's like there was nothing that I could really do. And like I had a court date. I went to the court about it, and you know, it was just the same thing. Like they just were not able to get her address, or the address that they went to, it wasn't sent, or you know, the officers I think have to deliver it, and it just like that just kind of fell through. So, and then in the midst of that, like I have other things going on, you know, like I had to move and like all these other things that really took up a lot of time. And so to sit here and like be Inspector Gadget and try to figure out this girl's address was just like taking away from like my life and like the things that I have to handle. So I see why people hire lawyers so that they can do this stuff. So yeah, now I'm driving around with my car and it's upsetting because I don't have a Mercedes or anything like that. Like, it's not an expensive car, you know, where I feel like somebody would be even more upset about it. But it's like, I take really a lot of pride in my car. You know, I've paid my car off. All the damage on my car it's all been, somebody hit me on the back left of my car and it wasn't my fault either. So I feel like all the damage to my car is from like, is all external. So it's just frustrating that I feel like people are like f***ing my shit up and like nothing is like being done about it. So it's something that upsets me because I take pride in like everything that I have. Yeah, and I think that like she knew that because you can pick up like certain things about people, and so I think that's why, one of the reasons why she did that too. So I just made this video to just kind of share, you know, what's been going on with me, and you know, be careful when you're out here meeting people online. And maybe I shouldn't have said I didn't want to be friends with her anymore. Maybe I could have kept that when we got home through a text or something. But I'm really big on being authentic as you can be, and like honoring how you feel like in moments in regards to safety and like not damaging property, obviously, but like, you know, and not like trying to cuss somebody out to dirt, but just honoring like safeness, like honoring like how you feel without harming or hurting somebody. You know, like you can say that you're upset about something without, you know, raging. And I think raging is good too, but I think it's also like, and being upset and angry, like all that shit is valid. But I think that you have to, it has to be like warranted. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like it has to be warranted, and also like, you can't just go and break somebody's stuff just because. And it's like, but then it's just like, fuck, maybe you can, because like, she's not even being reprimanded about this. You know what I mean? Like, she's pretty much home free. Like, you can go out and key somebody's car right now and just get away with it. Like, that's literally how I feel about it. So I see why people have like cameras on their cars. So that's awesome. Shout out to y'all. Lucky you. Anyway, you guys, I just wanted to make this video for you and just send the message to just be safe when you're meeting people online. I know it's still like pre-COVID, and I think a lot of us have just gotten comfortable with doing that. And then just be safe with like when you meet new people, like with what you say when you meet them, because you never know if they'll snap and be rageful and vengeful. That's why I try to like not share work, even when it comes to like dating sites. Like, I try not to share like where I work at, because it's none of your business until like we actually like, I feel safe with you. Like, you don't need to know where I live, you don't need to know where I work, because like, you just really have to think smart. And I think some people even get offended. Like, I feel like even on dating sites, when I meet guys, they're like offended that you won't tell them where you work at or like where you live. Like, I kind of get the work one, but where I live, like, you can know the city. Well, obviously on your dating profile, the city's listed, but like, wanting to know where I live is just like, or the side of town. I don't know. I guess the side of town's not that big of a deal. Anyway, you guys, I say all that to say I think safety was like the main topic of this. Safety, and also like some of these big corporations who just screw you over, or some of these people who work for these corporations that just don't give a fuck about you and your experience, and it's just all about them, or not even all about them, but like some people just have jobs and they're just not really doing their job. They're just there to just collect a paycheck, you know. And like, I get it, but like, if somebody's had a terrible experience, you know what I'm saying, and it's like real, they're not just complaining, you know, it's for a reason. Like, you should care. Like, that should matter and like be fixed. Anyway, I'll talk to you guys later. My next video is actually going to be my vlog from when I went to Phoenix to go see my family, and I have friends there, so I used to live there for a period, and then my Denver vlog too, because I had a layover there. So that'll be my next video. Bye.